Guys, so it is early in the morning. We're getting ready to hop in the old minivan here, head to Ohio, meet up with our buddy JC Smith, and grab ourselves a transmission. Golly, how does she sit in that thing? There we go. All right, let's get on the road. Bathrooms are closed for coronavirus, but you can use this stinky little porta-john. It's gonna save lives.
Slide her back a little. It's not horribly heavy. It's heavier than I want to carry, so I would put it on the fork and hold it as I drive it up there. I mean, unless you want to carry it.
So for those of you who may be new to the channel, or maybe you just forgot during our intermission while we moved, this is my 1991 Ford F350. We took the 7.3 liter IDI out of it. We swapped in a 7.2 liter Caterpillar 3126. We backed that up with an Allison AT545, which for those of you who may not know your Allisons, the AT545 is a 4-speed auto with a 1-to-1 in 4th gear and no lockup converter. It's not a very desirable Allison transmission. That's oily. Wow. We got the truck running and driving with the AT545 and quickly realized that that was not the best choice for us. With a 410 gear ratio and the factory tires, we were limited to about 50 miles an hour. We put on some 22.5s to gain a little bit extra mile per hour, and that got us about 65, but that was like wide open throttle. It wasn't a very fun vehicle to drive any great distance. So back in March, we went and bought a frame cut of a Ford Louisville truck from J.C. Smith. It came with a 3126 and an Allison MD 3060, which is a double overdrive wood lockup converter transmission. Got things cleaned up and put in the truck. Not long after getting it in the truck, we realized that is huge. Huge. Very huge. Now in hindsight, I probably should have done a little more research. There's two different MD3060s. There's the MD3060P and then just the standard MD3060. The P has PTOs and means it's quite a bit larger than the standard MD3060. But you know, sometimes you learn lessons the hard way. So after realizing the MD3060 was way too big for what we were doing, J.C. Smith said, hey, I have an Allison 2000. It'll probably work out much better for you. So that's what we did yesterday. We drove out to Ohio and picked up an Allison 2000. So this is the new transmission, the Allison 2000. Depends on the valve body. It could be a 5 or 6 speed. Double overdrive, lockup converter, so much more desirable than the AT545. I actually found a website, caconversions.com. They specialize in Allison transmission swaps. They had a lot of good information on their site, including the difference between an Allison 2000 and the 545. And they're actually pretty similar transmission. They both have SA3 belt housings. They both have the same output shaft, so I can swap the yokes if I need to. The 2000 is only about 3/4 of an inch longer than the 545, so that should be good for us. We did swap our bell housing to an SAE2, which is bigger because we were going with the MD3060. So we did get the adapter to go from 2 to a 3. The torque converter apparently is supposed to have the same bolt pattern between the 545 and the 2000, so we might have to swap out the flex plate on the back of the engine. It should just bolt right up. The truck that this came out of had engine issues. He'd never driven it, so he doesn't know if it works or not, but he assumes it's a good transmission because, you know, they park the truck for engine issues. And I did just find out it has a park paw. So I've been holding on to the old AT545, the other 3126 and the MD3060 just in case I need parts for this. Once I get done figuring out what I need off of those, they will be up for sale. So if you're interested, send me an email, DrewMan'sDriveway@gmail.com. Huge shout out to J.C. Smith for hooking us up with this, helping us out on this project. It's definitely a big help. We had an awesome time out there yesterday. It only took us a couple minutes to get this loaded up, but we spent quite a bit of time there hanging out, talking with J.C., and it's always a good time to spend time with him talking about trucks. You know, he's an awesome guy, him and his wife both, so if you never heard of him, go check him out. I'll leave a link somewhere. As you saw, we went and got our new transmission. I started swapping out the flex plate. I didn't record. We were testing to see if the kids could hear the impact up in their room so I don't wake them up. The flex plates are different between the 3060 and the 2000. The 2000 actually uses about the same flex plate as the 545, so we're going to get that bolted back up, and then we're going to try to test fit the transmission, see how everything lines up. Can't live like this. What?
You said to get cinematic shots.
Cinematic, not the inside of my ear.
Gosh.
That's better. Now we can see where we're going. Hey, can I borrow some money and buy some new lights for the shop?
No.
Looking for a lighting sponsor for the garage. Just kidding, they'll be here on Monday. believe that this ring here is gonna have to come off, and I'm gonna have to take, there's an adapter ring on the back of the torque converter on the 545 that I think will bolt right up to this torque converter. So we'll see. We'll take it all apart, get things bolted together, throw it together, and see how it looks. Alright, so the camera died, but we got the transmission bolted up. Climbed under it and looked. It looks like everything's just gonna bolt right up. We're not gonna need any spacers or anything, so that's gonna be awesome. Now the only thing I don't know about is the starter. Because I don't know if the starter is in the same spot between the 2 and 3. We'll find out soon enough, but it's on there. I did also figure out you bolt the adapter ring to the engine first, and then bolt the transmission to it, because these bolts, you can't get them in there otherwise. So now we know for next time, do it that way. And then we got the yoke switched out from the 545 because they're slightly different size yoke. We swapped that out for the 1410, so we're gonna have to get the end of that shaft changed out to 1410. The bottom of the transmission still has to come down like another 1/4 inch, so that'll bring it down slightly, but it's still at kind of a pretty steep angle, more so than it was before. And I think that the engine was in there a little cattywampus before. It was sat a little bit crooked and off to the one side. And I honestly think that kind of helped the driveline angle a little bit, because the 2000 and the 545 are pretty much identical. This is 3/4 of an inch longer, but we moved the engine forward 1.5 inches. So, it's pretty much the same, but different. So I think it'll work though. Nothing binds or hits. I kind of spun it over a few times. It's not like bolted in there, but besides chewing through U-joints, it'll probably be all right. I'm not going to lose much sleep over it. But this is definitely a lot smaller than the 3060, so this should work out much, much better for us. So yeah, everything's just kind of loosely bolted up with a couple bolts. We're going to be taking it back off. I got to get PTO covers for it. I want to clean it off, paint it, make it look pretty. Hopefully we don't have to bend the transmission dipstick. Yeah, I think we're going to have to bend it a little. See if we can bring it down here and up a little higher, get it kind of next to the engine oil. And I do plan on replacing the output seal and the input seal, so we'll order those at some point here. I don't know why I haven't done that yet, but we will. Oh, are we going? Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this video. The Allison 2000 is going to be a way better transmission for us. It's going to work out a lot better, and everything bolts right up. So now we can go ahead and get started cleaning everything up. We're going to get the transmission cleaned up, painted, got some new seals coming for it, and then we'll get it bolted back together. And then at that point we can kind of, put the cab on and make things work, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. And you may notice that there's like other things going on in the garage behind me, and like there's dust all over the truck. In case you guys missed it in the last video, I started a second channel where we're going to be doing more of like the home renovations, the shop build up kind of upgrades, whatever you want to call it. So my wife is giving you a sneak preview of some of the stuff that's going on here. But if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'll leave a link up in the top, and I'll try to remember to put it in the description this time because I didn't do that in the last video. But thank you for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you really like to, go ahead and subscribe, please. And thank you. And we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.
We'll just have to be careful.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you want is a really angry wife.
Yeah. That's not fun.
Yeah. I'd rather deal with 10 mad bikers than one mad wife.
Yes. There's truth to that.
Yeah, 'cause a mad guy, they'll get it out and it's over with. A mad wife, You have to live with it for the rest of your life.
Yep.
It'll be 20 years later. You remember when you put that transmission in my van?
I remember everything, you know.
Yeah.